She's so lazy. He's just stupid. Why does he get his own computer? That's not fair. She doesn't try. She always gets extra time. Why does the teacher favor him? Have you ever said or thought any of these things about a classmate or friend? People these days are so quick to judge without even knowing the whole story. Has it ever occurred to them that maybe those students are struggling? I'm contestant number 8, and I have a learning disability. I would like to erase every single myth you have ever heard about learning disabilities. A person with a learning disability is not unmotivated, lacking in intelligence, or less important than anybody else. All it means to have a learning disability is that our brains are wired differently, and that wiring affects the way we receive and process information. Now, there are so many different kinds of learning disabilities, I can't possibly go through them all, but I would like to discuss a few of the most common ones. So let's start with dyslexia, which causes difficulties in all aspects of reading. And then there is dysgraphia, which causes difficulties in all aspects of writing. And then there is dyscalculia. Can anyone guess what that one might be? That's right. Math, number sense, calculations, or anything that falls along that line. Then there are also syndromes like Asperger's and other autistic spectrum disorders. People with Asperger's are usually extremely intelligent and great with language and vocabulary, but they do struggle with socialization and change in their routine. A perfect example of someone with Asperger's would be Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He's incredibly intelligent, but he does get frustrated when his routine is changed. He also has rituals that we might find odd, like knocking 3 times on a door, penny, penny, penny. And he does get very frustrated when people sit in his seat or touch his food. Then there's also ADD and ADHD. People with these struggle to pay attention, they can act hyperactive, and they sometimes act impulsively, which makes it hard for them to concentrate on what they are actually learning. Now, just to name a few, did you know that Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, and Bella Thorne all had dyslexia? Michael Phelps, Jim Carrey, and Robin Williams all had ADHD, and Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Albert Einstein all had Asperger's. This is clear proof that having a learning disability does not restrict you from becoming successful. And then, well, there's me. My learning disability is called nonverbal learning disability. The name is actually quite misleading considering my strength is my verbal skills and my ability to speak. But I don't learn well the typical way that most people learn, and I tend to be very disorganized. I mean, have you seen my room or my desk? They should be classified as a disaster area. And I'm sure my friends can agree to that, but that's another story. I learned by hearing. Lots of my classmates have asked me why I leave the classroom to go work in another room or why I have my own computer at school. Well, it's simply because I learn differently than most of them, and sometimes I need a different approach to learn. Sometimes while they are reading the questions on a test, I will use my computer to read it to me. I remember doing a Cassie one time, and I did it the regular way. I got a 2-. Then I did that exact same Cassie, but with my headphones and computer, and I got a 4. Right after I was tested and my learning disability was found, my self-confidence was shot. I knew that I wasn't like other children, and I felt like I could never be successful. I felt worthless, ashamed, and even depressed. These feelings aren't uncommon in kids who go through this. People in my position constantly compare themselves to what society believes is perfect. And if we are different than them, how can we possibly be perfect? It was so hard for people like this to see the amazing potential that lied within them because they were focusing on the thing that made them different. Thankfully, I was able to prove myself wrong, as I now know that I am capable of so many great things. And when I apply myself, I'm unstoppable. This brings me to the importance of early testing and identification. I remember struggling just to get a C- before I was tested. And let me tell you, there is nothing in the world more upsetting than feeling like a failure, while everyone around you is getting high marks with little effort, and here I was, giving it my all just to get a passing grade. I mean, I was starting to give up like so many kids do. Why should I try when I'm getting nowhere? Then I got tested, and I learned what my strengths and weaknesses actually were, and I found tricks to assist my learning. I got an IEP in school, and well, the rest is history. I can honestly say that getting tested was the best thing that my parents ever did for me in my entire life. I learned that I am smart and capable of achieving those A's and B's. And my self-esteem is high now, and I'm no longer ashamed to hide my disability, which is why I'm able to talk about it to each and every one of you today. Now, before I end, I would just like to tell all the students in my position not to be ashamed of your learning disability, but to work hard to overcome it. Effort really is half the battle, and if you work hard to achieve your goals, there is nothing in life that you can't do, whether you have a learning disability or not. A learning disability does not define who you are. but the effort and persistence you put into your learning will mold who you are as a person and will be the key to your future success. Thank you for listening.